Hello everyone and welcome to our event. My name is Michael. Hello 大家好，歡迎你哋嚟參加呢個活動，我係 Michael. At Google Hong Kong, we want to digitize Hong Kong for good. And over the last 5 years, we have experienced an incredible journey through our Smarter Digital City initiative. And we focus on 3 pillars: economic contribution, ecosystem acceleration, and education. Today, we're going to zoom into a discussion about education and how we want to help you develop smarter digital talents to power Hong Kong's digitalization. Throughout the years of our Smarter Digital City research, one thing is consistent: digital talents are always in high demand across industries and sectors. However, a digital talent gap remains. Our first Smarter Digital City white paper indicates that digital talents have been high influence drivers of Hong Kong's digitalization. However, only 14% of Hong Kong's people through the city was successfully developing talents for the technology and science sectors. Businesses also told us that recruiting talent with STEM educational background is challenging, and they are keen in workforce upskilling. The pandemic has accelerated the shift to a digital economy, meaning digital skills are essentials for you to jumpstart new careers. So how will digital technologies accelerate economic growth and create new career opportunities? An economic impact report from Alpha Beta commissioned by Google showed that digital technologies could create up to 587 billion Hong Kong dollars worth of economic value. That's 50 billion USD by 2030. To put this in perspective, this is equivalent to 2/3 of the annual economic value add of the financial services industry in Hong Kong. Such a tremendous incrementality implies more needs from digital talent, as well as more investments in digital upskilling going forward. To help prepare you for a future digital economy and develop more future-ready talent to power Hong Kong's advancements to a smarter digital city, we are bringing Google Career Certificates to Hong Kong. Google Career Certificates are digital training programs available online on the Coursera global learning platform. The programs are created by Google's in-house experts and designed to equip you with fundamental skills using a lot of practice-based learning. It will cover 5 major areas of digital skills, which include a data analytics certificate, a digital marketing and e-commerce certificate, IT support area, which will lead to an IT support certificate, and IT automation certificate, project management certificate, and the 5th one would be a UX design certificate. Upon completion of a Google Career Certificate course, you will receive a professional certificate. There are also in-demand skills employers are looking for. We hope this program will help you become job-ready to unlock more opportunities in the high-growth fields. We also want to make the Google Career Certificates program accessible for more learners. And we are glad to announce that Google will provide scholarships to at least 1,000 underserved learners. The Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups will distribute scholarships to the underrepresented groups of low-income backgrounds, people with disabilities, ethnic minorities, and female beneficiaries. And together with the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, we shall advance a shared mission of talent development and youth education. Now, many studies have shown that confidence and transferable soft skills are equally or even more important in one's long-term success. That's why we are also offering I Am Remarkable workshops to our scholarship learners. Initially an internal workshop for Google employees, I Am Remarkable is now an initiative empowering everyone, especially the underrepresented, to celebrate their achievements in the workplace and beyond. Through a highly interactive, small group workshop hosted by Googlers, you can recognize your inner remarkable self and build more confidence to promote yourselves more openly. To recap, we believe learning can happen anywhere and anytime. Technology helps make this happen in a more efficient way. And with Google career certificates and scholarships distributed by our NGO partner, the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, we hope you the best and wish you all the very best in your growth and career development. Now, let's hear more from Gary Tang, coordinator at the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups. He will share more about plans for community outreach and talent development with this program. Over to you, Gary.
Michael， 各位嘉賓、各位青年朋友，大家好。喺過去2年咧，香港整體社會係受到疫情嘅影響，而我哋嘅工作、學習同埋日常嘅生活咧，都帶嚟巨大嘅轉變，亦都加快咗科技發展同埋應用嘅步伐。香港青年協會青年創研庫其中一項研究報告指出咧，喺疫情之下，青年人嘅失業同埋就業不足嘅情況咧，係值得社會嘅關注。當中工作經驗較少嘅求職者、自由工作者同埋一啲弱勢嘅年青人咧，都係受到影響最大嘅一群。青年人如果能夠保持靈活變通嘅心態，透過持續進修去學習其他範疇嘅技能，相信可以適應轉變中嘅就業市場，發揮所長。另外，青協一直推動青年掌握未來技能，鼓勵青年人及早裝備自己，期望佢哋保持競爭力。我哋曾經公布未來技能迎接挑戰報告，去年亦都出版咗一本專書，詳細介紹我哋青年人必須具備嘅軟硬技能。當中數碼技能同埋創新解難都係非常重要。喺數碼技能方面，我哋期望培育青年一方面裝備就業能力，另一方面應該對網絡帶嚟嘅危機同埋挑戰。至於創新解難，青年喺課堂裏邊學習到 STEM 跨學科實用知識，而喺課堂外，我哋都希望協助青年人發展創造、協作、解難、邏輯推理同埋分析能力。正正以上嘅研究啟示咧，以及我哋近年來大力去倡議呢個未來技能嘅項目，我哋好高興能夠與 Google 香港合作，協辦呢個 Google Career Certificates 智慧數碼人才計劃。呢一項計劃嘅目標同我哋嘅睇法係不謀而合，都係培育新生代嘅人才，同時肯定我哋自己嘅就業能力，提升信心。呢個計劃係為咗16至到35歲對科技創新、新職業技能感到興趣嘅年青人，提供1000個網上自學課程嘅會籍，提升佢哋嘅就業競爭力。剛才 Michael 已經介紹過5項數碼技能嘅範疇，每一個課程大約為期110至到200個小時。青年人喺獲得助學金嘅1年之內，可以選擇修讀任何課程，一門或者多門我哋都歡迎嘅。我哋亦都歡迎青年人修讀全部嘅課程。如果修讀5個範疇，即係1年之內一共學習至少550小時。呢一種堅毅意志，的確係需要大家嘅鼓勵同埋支持。青協嘅角色係會提供諮詢服務同埋交流嘅機會，讓參加者可以深化學習成果，互相認識，擴展人脈網絡。我哋亦都邀請到多間大學同埋機構成為我哋嘅合作伙伴，反應非常熱烈，歡迎各位青年人報讀。即使大家未有資訊科技嘅知識，亦都可以由淺入深，逐步學習。網上自學課程並唔係一件容易嘅事，需要具備自律性、應對挑戰嘅心態同埋能力。如果有同伴嘅支持，互相交流，相信能夠事半功倍。呢個亦都係我哋協辦嘅目的，以及期望所見到嘅成果。Google Career Certificates 智慧數碼人才計劃 今日起正式接受網上報名，直至到8月14日。大家可以到青協社會創新及青年創業部嘅網站瀏覽。大家報名之後，我哋會進行簡單嘅篩選，成功申請嘅朋友呢，喺8月中就可以展開1年嘅網上學習之旅。希望大家把握機會登記，名額1000個。多謝大家。
All right, well, thanks, Gary, for being our great partner to launch this initiative here in Hong Kong. We will now move to our panel discussion, so let me introduce the group. First, we have Rose Sang, Head of Group Digital Development and Transformation, GroupM. Hello, Rose.
Hello, 大家好。
And next, we have Alan Wong, a digital leader in Hong Kong Consulting and Deloitte.
Hey, hello, 大家好。
Hey, Alan. And Dennis Wong, Director and Co-founder, Master Concept.
Hello, 大家好。
Well, thank you for joining us today. So let's start with a nice, easy warm-up question. So learning, as you know and we've talked about, is a lifelong skill, and technology has made educational resources more accessible to everyone. And so, how about for each of you? Please share maybe one thing that you're currently learning or have recently learned. And let's see, Rose, let's go with you first.
我呢排好沉迷於喺 YouTube 裏邊咧，係不斷揾一啲日本禮品嘅包裝嘅一啲短片睇，咁我覺得好有趣，同埋 YouTube 好好一樣嘢就係我睇完一條之後，佢又會 push 一啲同類型嘅短片俾我，咁所以我呢一排都非常之沉迷於呢一樣嘢。
Oh, that's so nice to hear, Rose. And yes, you're right. We'll continue to share more once we find out, like, let's say you're really interested in a topic. How about Alan? Over to you.
係啦，咁關於我啊，雖然即係喺 consulting 啊 digital 嘅世界我都即係好忙啦，但係其實對我嚟講都同可能 everybody 都有時要有自己有啲娛樂嘅。咁我其實係一個 big gamer， 我好中意打機啊，由細到大都係。咁啊，其實好多時啊打機。因為咧打機嘅人啦，好多時都會又想睇下有啲咩 hidden treasure 未攞到啊，有啲乜嘢即係 the best badges that we need to get 啊，咁所以其實我都會成日喺網上嘅平台咯，喺 YouTube 啊嗰啲去 look into 點樣可以kind of perfectionist right into 我呢個打機啊過關咁樣嚇。
Yeah. And Alan, although like sometimes I like to watch StarCraft, right, and just watch them play online, see what's going on. But it's one of the games that I really liked as well. Dennis, how about you?
哇！我諗 Covid 呢2年，我諗你會發覺你周邊好多朋友都變晒 Master Chef， 包括我自己個人都係成日都會上去 YouTube 去學唔同整嘢食，包括屋企所有人，包括2個小朋友加我太太，都經常上去 YouTube 度學下點樣整嘢食。最近啱啱買咗隻長腳蟹，唔識整，咁上網抄點樣可以一隻蟹4食，咁結果大家好開心咁一個 weekend 學咗點樣整一隻蟹4食，咁喺 YouTube 可以揾到嘅。
Yeah. So it's really nice, I think, to hear from all the different topics and actually what you can learn on the internet as well. So how about we move to our next question here? So let's see. COVID has accelerated digital transformation across industries. And so what are the major shifts that you have seen and that you think will stay with us for the long term? How about for this time, Alan, you go first.
我講下啦，其實就算由我哋好耐以前啦，大家都會諗到，其實就算我哋去一間士多又好，一間 boutique 去買衫又好，其實嗰啲 owners 都好了解我哋啦，都大家好 friend 咁樣。咁其實我見到啦，而家雖然大家係越嚟越 move on 一個 digital world， 同埋啲companies 係 in more massive scale， 但係其實佢哋都係好想繼續去做到好關心、好了解佢哋嘅 customers 嘅咁所以咧好多時咧，好多嘅公司都盡量去搜集多啲嘅資料啦，好多嘅 data， 去更加去 enrich 佢哋嘅 understanding of the customers 或者我舉個例子啦 ，which 可能大家都會接觸同埋認識多啲嘅，好似譬如大家都知道嘅一個 U program 啦 ，YUU 啦咁其實大家都會知道個 YUU 個廣闊概括率啦，個 U program 其實由惠康啊、萬寧啊、IKEA 好多嘅 brands，right， or even 美心嘅 restaurants 都喺裏面，大家都可以去儲分。咁其實可以去諗翻啦，其實點解佢哋想咁多嘅機會去接觸啲 customers 有呢個咁嘅 loyalty program， 其實可以去諗下，譬如大家從我哋譬如攞住個手機個 U app 去睇 究竟有啲咩 offers 我中意嘅嘢啦，至到我去買嘢嗰時咁其實咧大家佢都可以去搜集多啲資料，令到佢可以對啲 customer 更加好啊！即係你諗下，譬如佢可以知道我不嬲係 browse 開啲咩，中意啲乜嘢，我買開啲乜嘢，同埋直至到 to the item level，right？ 可能因為原來我買嘅係家私多啲嘅，買嘅係 BB 產品多啲嘅，咁即係好容易推斷到我都係一個有 family，right？ 有 kids 嘅一個人啦 ，right 至到可能我嘅 geolocation，right 我通常喺邊度消費多啲啊？咁其實咧好多呢啲嘅資料咧，了解咗咧 ，company 就可以更加去好適合地去推廣一啲好好嘅 promotion 俾佢哋啲客人。咁呢個我亦都係見到一個big trends in the market 啦嚇。
Yeah, and why you always famous for their chimes and their songs, including why you to me right now, right? Okay, Rose, how about over to you?
我諗睇翻我哋公司咁多客戶咧，其實喺呢1-2年 Covid 出現咗之後咧，其實有一個大趨勢咧，就係佢哋開始諗，其實因為 retail shop 因為之前又 lockdown 啦，或者係好多鋪頭要好早閂啊咁好多 physical 嘅鋪頭咧就開始諗，或者嗰啲 business 咧就開始諗，其實我哋係咪需要做 e-commerce 咧，做一個網上嘅消費平台咧咁。亦都睇翻就係消費者嗰個消費模式都改變咗，即係好似我自己為例，其實我都係網上邊去睇，如果我想買一樣嘢，我去上邊睇咗先，睇咗之後咧，不如我喺上邊買埋啦 ，instead of 真係去一個 physical 嘅鋪頭。咁如果消費者嗰個模式改變，而喺 marketers 嘅心目中亦都我要迎合呢一班客人或者係成個社會嘅趨勢，咁佢哋開始就係去發展自己嘅一啲網上平台。咁網上平台就係好似頭先 Alan 講，亦都可以睇到嗰啲消費者嘅一啲custom journey 啦，佢哋中意啲乜嘢啦，會買啲乜嘢啦咁所以一個大數據嘅即係收集咧，亦都係一個趨勢咯。咁我諗係因為個社會嘅改變，即係因為成個 Covid 嘅大氣候啦，跟住就到係消費者模式嘅改變啦，咁而 marketers 咧就因應嗰個改變去 change， 咁我諗呢一個都係一個 trend 會繼續落去嘅一樣嘢咯。
Yeah, I totally agree. It will continue to stay and probably accelerate if you just look at even our own behavior. We spend a lot more time ordering online, and I think this will be a very important skill for people to develop as well. Dennis, how about over to you?
我諗 Covid 我哋公司都算係一個非常之好彩嘅其中一個 industry。因為我哋公司主要係幫啲客戶上雲端，即係而家成日講嘅 cloud service 啊 ，cloud management service。咁 Covid 開頭嘅時候，我哋見到好多 SMB， 我哋幫咗好多 SMB， 佢哋 looking for 好多 work from home solution， 好似今日咁啱，我哋都用咗Google Meet 嚟做我哋呢個 meeting， 亦都做咗好多 remote office 嘅 solution， 幫咗好多中小企，起碼上咗雲端，佢哋可以繼續去做營運做生意。咁喺 Covid 開頭嘅時候，我哋做咗好多呢啲 project， 直至最近，其實我哋開始見到好多大型 enterprise， 以前可能佢哋擺上 cloud 咧，只係 for 一啲可能 disaster recovery、DR site 為主。甚至最近我哋開始見到好多大嘅 conglomerate 嘅 enterprise 咧，我哋擺啲 application 上 cloud， 唔單止淨係當 DR。頭先Rose 都提過咧，其實 e-commerce 都係其中一個 industry。我哋見到過去呢2年都蓬勃得好快 ，accelerate 得好快。所有 digital native 嘅 business 都 expand 得好緊要，唔單止淨係香港，基本上跳出埋香港 go international market。咁我哋都幫咗好多呢啲企業咧，幫咗上咗好多 cloud service。所以絕對係cloud service 啊，頭先我哋而家推緊嘅呢個 Google Career Certificate 絕對會幫到我哋去 recruit 一啲新嘅 talent。Thank you.
All right, well, I think that's a great pivot point. So now that we've talked a little bit about the trends, and when you see these digital transformation and the needs, what kind of talents and skills are each of you looking for at your companies? So Alan, how about this time we start with you?
其實對我嚟講啦，好多時有啲人有啲誤解嘅，即係當人哋講起 digital 咧，個個都諗可能係咪淨係 technology，right？ 其實唔單止係咁樣，其實對我嚟講係 it's about like changing the whole human experience，right？ 咁而我哋去諗一個 human experience， 一個人點樣去生活，其實個個都喺度生活緊日日，right？ 咁所以其實個 diversity 對我哋個 company 係好緊要嘅嚇。It's not just one particular skill set。咁個 diversity 好緊要。咁可能我概括有幾個 example， 即係從 B 開頭嘅話 business skills 啦 ，right？ 當然因為我哋做好多 digital 嘅項目，我哋需要好多人去 understand 個 business 啊，個 business viability 同埋了解嗰啲 requirements 係啲乜嘢，去產生嗰啲 features。咁當然頭先都話都會有一啲 technology 嘅同事啦，要去做一啲 technology 嘅 digital products 出嚟。但係另外一個方面咧，可能就算可能係marketing 啊、creative 啊嘅朋友仔啦，我哋都會 recruit 嘅，因為佢哋好緊要係要諗下，譬如好似我哋做一個 mobile app， 咁都要個 mobile 係容易用啦，係要靚啦 ，right？ 咁其實所有或者 even digital marketing，right？ 點樣去推廣？好多時我哋做咗個 app 或者做個 digital product， 咁所以好多唔同嘅 skill set 都係需要啦，咁所以我哋其實就算我哋公司啦，係五花八門讀唔同嘅major 嘅同學仔都有嘅，咁be it commerce、engineering 啊，至到 as I said philosophy 啊、marketing 啊，全部都有，咁所以我亦都其實頭先好開心啦，阿 Michael 同阿 Gary 亦都提到好多嘅 certifications 咁其實我諗嗰啲 certifications 絕對係我覺得係會幫到手去 equip 啲同學仔啦，去配合呢個我哋而家做嘅好多嘅 digital transformations
Yeah, I agree. And I hope that these certificates can build on existing skills and diversity as well. And, I remember speaking to students in the past, and whether you worked in retail or fast food or anywhere, actually, you learn such incredible skills like how to handle conflict, how to handle difficult customers, how to communicate. And so all of these are great foundations, and we hope, additional programs and certificates can build on top of that. Rose, how about over to you?
我諗我哋公司其實我頭先好同意 Alan 講嘅 diversity 嘅，咁而我哋 recruit 嘅 staff 咧，其實要有一個好 strong 嘅 business sense 啊。雖然好 particular 係做一啲譬如我係要做 biddable， 做一啲 performance， 做一啲 search 嘅嘢，咁但係我諗要有一個 business sense 就係話digital marketing， 因為都有一個好闊嘅 topics， 要知啲唔同嘅範疇啦。咁另外就係要對data 要有一個興趣，要有一個好 basic 嘅認識，因為喺好早我哋第二條問題嘅時候，其實都有講過，我哋會收集好多大數據，同埋而家亦都係個 trend。咁所以對於一啲 data analytics 嘅嘢啦，咁係我哋覺得呢一方面嘅 knowledge 係需要嘅。咁當然係要配合你要讀一啲 course 啦。咁頭先 digital marketing 講過啦，咁e-commerce 其實都係一個範疇，我哋希望同事係會有至少有一個 basic 嘅 knowledge 嘅，因為如果成個趨勢我哋嘅客人係呢一個講緊一個 e-commerce 嘅 trend 嘅時候，其實呢一樣嘢我哋嘅同事嘅 knowledge 係唔可以缺少咯。咁我都可以 share 一樣嘢，就係其實所有我哋請翻嚟嘅同事咧，其實都要係 get certified in 一堆 Google 嘅 cert 嘅。咁其實係因為Google 嘅 cert 係一啲好 professional 嘅 certificate， 咁我哋亦都知道佢哋 provide 即係你哋 provide 咗好多free 嘅 online 嘅 modules 啦，咁我覺得係一個好好嘅 partner 咯。
So Rose, let me just ask a quick follow-up question, right? So certificates and getting into GroupM is important, but like how do you think about training when you're in the job as well?
我覺得on-job training 係好緊要嘅，咁但係因為我哋個 on-job training 就我哋係同個客其實係拖住手一齊去做，咁所以我哋係每一個客唔同嘅要求，或者佢哋對於譬如話頭先有唔同 e-commerce 嘅要求啦，或者係每一個客都有自己嘅 KPI 要去 achieve 嘅，咁我哋都會因應翻如果呢一個客其實佢係好需要 in e-commerce 嘅，咁我哋就要啲同事係真係讀咗某一啲 course 或者考咗某一啲 cert， 跟住先至可以去做，因為亦都要對我哋嘅客負責任咯。
All right, well, Dennis, over to you. Let's take a look for you.
我諗我哋呢個 IT industry 最近最大嘅 pain point 都係 talent， 咁所以好開心聽到 Google 會 launch 呢個 career certificate。其實我哋本身過去嗰幾年咧，我諗我入行嘅時候好多都話要咩 IT degree 啊，又要唔知起碼你喺TI 畢業啊等等。我諗我而家要做 recruitment 咧，已經唔係唔一定要識 IT 或者你讀 IT 可以 join 我哋呢一行。咁其實喺坊間有好多，包括你哋都 launch 咗啦，喺Coursera 啊。咁其實只要係相信你喺 Udemy、Udacity 去 certify 咗某一啲 certificate， which is 係好 relevant to 我哋啲 job 嘅 title 咧，基本上我哋都請㗎啦。因為而家其實喺唔單止淨係香港，我相信喺成個亞洲都一樣，越嚟越難請人。咁啊，再加上關又未開啦，我哋啲國內啲同胞又未可以落到嚟啦。咁所以喺我哋嘅角度，你就算冇 technical background， 你肯去上堂，肯去學，攞咗 certificate， 你嚟 interview， 基本上我哋已經好大機會都已經行大幾步，但行咗已經幾步，可以基本上我已經我冇少俾張 contract 你簽。所以我好希望快啲同學鼓勵佢哋多啲上呢堂 certify 咗啲 Google 嘅 certificate， 咁我哋就可以好快可以請多啲唔同嘅 IT talents。Thank you.
And Dennis, let me ask you, so how do you think about inclusive hiring within your company?
我哋都算我 Google 推緊呢一個 DEI， 其實過去嗰幾年我哋都係diversification 啊、exclusion 同埋inclusive 同埋呢個 equity。我哋公司基本上都好 diversify，任何國籍嘅人，任何你咩 language 嘅人、culture 嘅人喺我哋公司都會出。OK， 我哋冇任何顏色上啊，或者你係 culture 上嘅，總唔知 as long as 你係一個talent 幫到我哋呢個 industry 繼續去 grow， 幫到我哋 ecosystem， 基本上我哋都請。I really buy DEI 呢個 concept。Thank you, Michael 你嘅提出 ，thank you。
Actually, it's a great point because one of the things that I remember about Google very distinctly was at the very beginning we thought hiring, let's say, university graduates and stuff like this was very important. But when we started looking at the data internally, actually we realized that it's not the university degree that is the determination whether you are successful at Google. It's actually your ability to continue learning. And so now even at Google, when we hire, we don't even require completion of a university degree. I think if you're fortunate enough to have an interview, we focus a lot on the discussion around, okay, so what have you learned, right? How do you demonstrate continual learning? Because that's going to be so important in any company that you join as well. Well, thank you, Dennis, I think, for sharing your thoughts there as well. So let's move to the part here around career advice. We have lots of people tuning in to the live stream and everything. And so I want to make sure that we tap into the wisdom of this group because you're all senior, experienced leaders, and we hope that you can share some advice. So first question, in addition to digital upskilling, what other career tips would you give to talents for long-term success? So Dennis, how about we start with you first?
我個人認為過去咁多年我都 interview 咗好多唔同嘅 candidate， 我覺得soft skill 重要過一切，即係佢哋嘅工作態度我哋啲同事都好願意，我哋都係用類似 mentorship 嘅形式嘅，我哋啲同事好願意教，即係如果一個 fresh grad 一個同事新裝入嚟，頭先我都講啦，就算佢冇 IT background，我哋好願意教。只要你有一個誠懇嘅態度，基本上我哋啲同事一定會將佢認識嘅嘢都傳授俾我哋嘅一啲mentee。personality 啦，我哋公司都 adopt 咗 True Colour， 咁我哋都好鼓勵啲學生了解下自己個16 personality， 究竟佢自己適合邊一個類型嘅工作咧？咁我哋自己公司 default 都會做呢啲 testing。除此之外，其實我哋最近都有同唔同嘅 NGO 合作，包括最近我哋都同聖公會合作。咁搞咗一個叫做職志生涯計劃，都同 Google 同而家你哋搞緊個 program 嗰啲相似嘅，都希望幫到一啲唔同種類嘅學生啦，鼓勵佢哋進入呢個 IT industry 啦咁嚟緊月底都邀請咗幾間聖公會嘅學校嚟參觀我哋 office， 了解下究竟 IT industry 按雲端嘅 industry 究竟會做啲咩啦。嚟緊我都希望可以推多啲呢個 program， 亦都會到時會介紹埋Google Career Certificate 俾佢哋認識啦，因為我見你哋有個好好嘅 scholarship。雖然我哋未有 scholarship 啦，但係我哋自己都 launch 咗個 ATP， 係 Google 嘅 Authorized Training Centre。個 program 好似嘅，我諗你哋就 online 啦，我哋就做咗個 offline 嘅 program， 亦都係鼓勵啲學生。我哋都盡量都唔係其實收錢嘅角度因為考試嗰張 certificate 其實冇辦法啦 ，Google 都要收錢。咁嗰 part 可能我哋盡量會 sponsor 啲學生咁你上堂咧，基本上我哋都唔收啲學生錢。都係同個 NGO 一齊合作去推廣，希望多啲人認識IT 呢個 industry。咁包括可能有一啲 IT support 啦，我哋個 industry 有好多 IT support 啦 ，project management 啦， 你對雲端嘅某啲技術，如果你有 know-how 或者上咗啲 course 咧，基本上我哋都希望你 pass 咗 exam， 我哋都請佢。咁所以 conclude 嚟講，我哋覺得嚟上堂啦 ，soft skill 啦，了解下自己嘅 personality 啦，呢個我覺得係好緊要嘅。Thank you.
Well, Dennis, you mentioned soft skills, so I'm going to ask you to zoom back to when you first started working. And you're a great communicator right now, but was it always the case? And how did you learn it, and how did you practice it? Maybe share with the audience here, because many of them are likely just starting out their careers too.
OK， 我係咪一個好即係如果 based on 16 personality 咧，我都算係 extrovert 嘅，都係中意講嘅，但係我比較慢熱啲嘅一類人。咁我都記得我第一個 interview， 我仲記得我個當時個 manager。佢介紹我自己，咁我自己好中意打籃球 ，OK， 我就用咗打籃球 as 一個 analogy。每次喺一個 team 裏邊，我好容易就會俾人 nominate 咗 as 一個 team leader，OK， 咁我自己覺得個 communication skill 啊 part of 個 soft skill 嚟啦，係好緊要，因為你做一個 IT project 唔係淨係一個個人去做一個 project 噶嘛，就算你講嘢 communication 唔係好流利，但係其實我哋好多公司同事好中意用 Google Chat。當你同佢用 chat 嘅時候咧，其實佢可以 communicate 得好暢順。Believe it or not，我有好多同事都係咁。你直接行埋去問佢，可能佢未必答得你好暢順，但係你 check 佢咧，佢可以解釋得好清楚。But also 呢度都係一個soft skill， 我覺得係好重要，同人與人之間嘅溝通。只要你建立咗呢個人與人之間嘅溝通咧，你就可以慢慢好容易去 develop 咗你自己嘅 soft skill。咁當然從中亦都可以再發掘其他唔同嘅 soft skill。OK，thank you。
Yeah, it reminds me of something also that we learned within Google and the company, right? I think you had mentioned true colors, right? We have something called insights discovery, and what we actually do with that is just to better understand each other and how we communicate, because we all have different styles, right? So some people prefer some time to prepare. Some people prefer to speak very openly. And so I think as long as we can all understand different styles, we can help each other be a more effective team, right? Because each of us are uniquely different. Rose, how about I pass this question over to you?
我覺得我好同意頭先係 Dennis 講嘅 soft skill 係緊要過一啲 hard skill， 因為 hard skill 你真係可以讀完之後去考試，但係 soft skill 其實係好 from 你自己 inborn 個 mentality 或者你個 personality 嘅。我可以分享少少咧，就係我記得有一次我 interview 一個 fresh grad 啦，咁其實佢係讀 history 嘅。咁佢就好得意，佢就去申請我哋呢一份工喺廣告公司裏邊。咁我就話：咦，點解你會申請呢份工？佢話：其實我覺得我自己嘅性格，佢好了解自己。佢話：我覺得我自己嘅性格係好適合。咁佢講咗一堆嘢，佢又講一啲例，究竟佢係一個咩人啊？點樣樣？咁喺嗰半個鐘頭，我同佢傾偈咧，其實我係好 feel 到佢嘅熱誠啦。同埋就係做嘢個態度好認真，佢 prepare 得好好嚟 interview， 咁睇晒我哋公司嘅 website 啊，所有嘢，咁佢亦都對於我覺得有一句好緊要就係我喺佢身上發現到嘅就係 always stay hungry 同埋 curious about 所有嘅嘢係圍住你自己嘅，咁我覺得尤其是係做一啲關於 digital 嘅工作嘅時候咧，你係好需要知道個世界發生咩事。人哋發生咩事，甚至嗰樣嘢，喂，我唔會買嘅喎，我唔會理嘅喎，但係你都要知道，因為如果你係投身呢一個 career 呢一個行業嘅時候，其實你就係要不斷去學，不斷學嘢都係一個好正確嘅態度係需要嘅。咁同埋就係頭先有講過就係究竟係咪一個好嘅 communicator 諸如此類。咁呢啲 soft skill 其實我覺得係可以慢慢去培養翻嚟嘅，即係當你去同多啲同事傾偈啊、見客嘅時候，其實你做多啲 presentation，尤其是我覺得而家有好多年青人啦，因為比較可能屋企係一個啦，或者係中意打機啊，或者好多一啲 online 嘅 communication 啊，我係用 chat， 我用 WhatsApp， 我用 Teams， 其實好多時咧唔係好慣望住人哋去講嘢。 咁其實望住人哋對眼去講嘢，其實係一個好直接、好親切嘅一個溝通嚟。咁我覺得，當你去 interview、去投身社會、去工作嘅時候，其實呢一樣嘢係好緊要。咁我覺得 interview 亦都係，如果我去 interview 一個人嘅時候，其實一個 eye contact 對於我嚟講係第一樣嘢，我會俾分嘅一樣嘢咯。Thank you.
Yeah, I liked how you talked about practicing. Like even for myself today, whenever I have a presentation at work or wherever, I do practice it, right? I'll stand up, I'll practice it in front of a room, even if there's no one in the room, because it's very different than just looking at the screen and pretending like you're saying it. You actually really need to say it. Now, earlier, you also mentioned how, this candidate that you interviewed showed up really well. It seemed like they did a lot of preparation. So can you share maybe some tips or advice to the audience about, what you would do, to prepare for an interview?
我覺得最緊要就係話，當你去申請一份工嘅時候，你首先要了解嗰份工其實做啲乜嘢嘢。咁當然你唔係話我睇完個 scope 之後我就完全我知道做乜，但係至少你喺字面上邊你要去了解。如果你喺個 description 個 job description 上邊，你可能見到一啲字你唔明，或者係一啲嗰個行業嘅一啲 jargon， 你 try to 去 Google 去 find out 究竟係關於啲乜嘢，咁你已經有一個好基本嘅認識先。咁之後咧，你就要開始認識你嘅可能嘅 potential employer 啦。咁你要上去佢嘅 website 度睇下，其實佢嘅 business 係啲乜嘢啦。咁有一啲問題，當你去了解嗰間公司嘅時候，你要諗出嚟，你有冇啲咩嘢係想知多啲嘅？可能同你份工作個職位有關嘅，或者呢間公司佢未來想點樣做啊，個 business direction 啊，咁你 list down 晒所有問題先。咁跟住我覺得第三樣嘢就係如果你係一個即係啱啱畢業，或者你而家想轉行去投身 digital 嘅話，你一定要好了解自己嘅強同埋弱，因為有一啲人對於數字係好弱嘅，譬如我自己咧，我係好驚數目字嘅，但係冇辦法啦，有陣時逼住都要做啦，做 budget 啊，咁你都要做啦。咁但係我知道呢一個係我嘅弱點，所以如果我真係要面對嘅時候，我就要 pay 多啲 effort， 或者我用一啲做多啲咯，或者我睇多啲咯。我嗰個 Excel 我可能要睇多好多次，我啲 formula 要 check 好多次。咁但係 communication 係我強嘅一樣嘢，咁我就要諗翻我強嗰樣嘢同我 apply 嗰份 job， 其實會唔會有一啲 contradiction， 有一啲矛盾？因為我請過有個朋友仔啦，咁佢就其實申請份工咧，我係好需要好個人化對住個 laptop 自己做嘢。咁可能佢7成嘅時間淨係對住個 laptop， 3成嘅時間係同 internal 嘅同事溝通嘅，係咁多嘅啫，最多係3成時間。但係當佢一坐低嘅時候就係話，其實咧我好想咧同人溝通㗎，我好中意見客，最好咧就日日俾我去開會啦咁樣。咁跟住我就會睇到其實佢冇認識清楚份工，佢亦都唔知道其實佢嘅想要嘅嘢，佢嘅強處同呢一份工其實有冇一啲衝突，有冇一啲矛盾。咁我諗呢一樣嘢candidate 係需要去留意咯。同埋我諗有一個tips 咧，其實好多時當個 employer 去問其實你覺得點解你會自己可以升任到呢一份工嘅時候，通常都會話我覺得我自己做到啊，因為我未試過啊咁。咁其實對於 candidate， 尤其是一個fresh grad 或者一個轉行嘅 candidate， 其實所有工作或者所有崗位，佢哋一定未試過。咁你未試過，咁但係可能3個月之後，你就會覺得其實好悶，其實唔啱我嘅性格。咁我好多時我都會好坦白同佢哋講就係，如果我有3份工擺喺台，所有嘅 condition 都係一樣，你需要諗嘅嘢就係諗下自己嘅強同埋弱，而邊一份工適合自己。咁我諗係要用呢一個 approach 去選擇同埋去諗自己嗰個 career 應該點樣行咯。
Yeah, it's a great point. I think just really understanding what you like, what you're passionate in, and then some of that actually you can really find out by researching the company as well, right? Okay, well, Alan, maybe over to you.
好啊其實對我嚟講啦，一嚟首先好 agree with 頭先唔同嘅 panelists 啦去講嘅 suggestions。其實我覺得有一樣嘢啦，我好 value， 亦都又係覺得好重要，都係 it's one of the soft skills 就係個 proactiveness。Right? I think everyone needs to be proactive， 就算喺乜嘢行業都好唔係淨係喺consulting 係乜嘢行業都係。因為對我嚟講就係instead of 即係人哋話俾你聽要做啲乜嘢先去做，其實要去 take 一個 initiative 係其實我仲有啲乜嘢可以做得好啲咧所以唔單止喺個頭先我哋話工作個 task 嘅層面，可能頭先亦都提到阿 Dennis 提到，譬如好似 certifications，right？ 唔係人哋叫你去考先至去考 ，right？ 其實自己可以去 proactive 去做嗰件事，同埋或者 even 正如我哋話 digital 嘅世界日新月異，成日有呢啲新嘅 technologies， 咁都係去 proactive 去點樣去 learn about new things，right？ 咁我覺得proactiveness 咧係我諗 at the core of 個 successfulness 嘅因為就算我打個例子，譬如喺我哋 consulting 嘅 industry 啦，其實因為我哋你諗下人哋去請我哋，就係我哋係 because we know more。Right about about the industry, about the technologies and many different things, right? 咁如果我哋唔 proactive， 自己去 learn and experience 咗多啲嘢先嘅 ，right？ 咁我哋又點樣可以 be a step ahead of 我哋嘅 clients 咧 ，right？ 咁所以就算喺我哋嘅 industry 咧，都係要好 proactive 啦。或者我亦都可以 comment 下譬如頭先你哋講到 communication skills 嗰啲，其實我係 start off as 一個developer。Right? I literally graduate from in engineering major。咁我係都係寫 code，做 development。Right? 咁我 get into first get into like even writing assemblies。Right? 雖然我唔知而家啲同學仔知唔知咩 assemblies？It's literally like 0 and 1s。Right? 咁其實我會去諗，譬如 for 我 how do I want to progress in my career？ 咁我慢慢就覺得I wanted to get into more like 而家新一代 digital 啲嘅嘢，咁可能 that's how I get into e-commerce，right? And then from e-commerce I started into doing more like other digital consultings and things like that as well。咁其實我覺得都係個 proactiveness， 你點樣去 progress yourself， 或者 even 因為我係 start off as 一個developer 咧，當然 communication wise 咧，我細個嗰時都喺會啦，其實好正常，喺個會未必會好敢講嘢，right？ 因為個個都 senior 過你，你又怕你啲 comments 會唔會係irrelevant， 人哋會唔會覺得我太 junior 咧 ，right？ 咁其實但係一嚟同埋點樣去 deliver 你嘅 message， 咁所以其實好多時咧都係點樣去 observe 人哋點樣去做 ，right？ And then you learn and practice like what you said。但係點樣去 practice 就係taking the proactiveness and ask 我個 mentor 就係不如嚟緊呢個會，我去 chair 呢個會啊，我去 facilitate 或者有一個 portion 俾我去 present 啦。Right 等我去，咁我唔 practice 又點樣可以去 grow 咧 ？Right 咁 again 就係要有呢個 proactiveness 去 ask for these things， 咁就可以令到你慢慢一步一步咁樣去成長咯嚇。
And Alan, I love your story about like originally engineering and coding, and now you find yourself in digital. Like, how did you know that you wanted to make that change?
Right 咁譬如點知道點樣去 make that change 咧？就係一嚟都係being proactive 啦，都係頭先我去睇翻其實 what's the trend in the market, right？ And then I think one is looking at the trends, and two 其實我都會自己有時去諗 who I wanted to be, right？ 其實我好多時咧，就算我有時去interview 啲同事啦即係啲同學仔其實都好多時問佢一個問題就係你點樣3至5年後 who do you want yourself to be？Right 咁其實就係當你自己去諗，其實 who do you want yourself to be？ 你就要慢慢去組織，我點樣去一步一步去行咧？咁我其實嗰時 start off 雖然係 as a developer， 咁 as I said， 我一嚟啦，第一方面就係個technology trends， 我覺得係 moving towards 咩 direction， 咁我慢慢去學啦，去 apply 唔同嘅公司，去 learn 到 stuff。The second thing 就係我亦都覺得just personally， 我就未必係想淨係做一個 coder， 一個 developer。Right? I want to be more well-rounded in terms of I want better like business acumen and then to understand the business world more and to potentially even be doing strategic things, right? 咁我所以就係做好多點解我話去揾唔同嘅工做唔同嘅 opportunities， 尤其是咧我諗喺 Deloitte 俾到我嘅就係個 diversity of different projects, right? 我可以由一個 developer 去 learn 埋個 business side of things， 跟住我可以即係 purely 從一個 business 嘅角度再走去一個 strategic 嘅角度。Right 咁慢慢咁樣去 grow， 咁 I think that's how I progress with my career. Yeah.
And you also mentioned something about sometimes feeling worried about speaking up or sharing your perspective, right? And I think that really resonates actually even for myself as well, right? Because you may have done something great, right? But you feel a little bit nervous about sharing it or whatever it is. And, you know, it's one of the core reasons when we were designing this program that we also thought about the I Am Remarkable program as well. And we realized this is also something that Googlers internally struggle with, right? And so how do we teach them to be more confident in their achievements, right? And to talk about it without fear of feeling like you're bragging, right? Because it's based in fact. You did it, and you should be able to share it if you want. And I think similar to you, if you need to get more practice or you need to find the right venue to share it, you know, working with your manager or team leader to find the right opportunities for you to share it is also very good as well. So,
to add on a little bit, if I may, Michael, I think you know don't feel like 即係個個人都中意喺一個自己嘅 comfort zone, right? But in order for you to continue to progress, right, 就係 the proactiveness to jump out a little bit at a time, right, out of your comfort zone. And you know, learning more and more, right? Be it hard skills and soft skills. Yeah, treasure every single moment. Yeah.
And actually, I remember this one advice one of my old managers gave me, and they said that you're part of this team because we value your perspective. So when you stay quiet and don't say anything, you're not really contributing. And so we need you to contribute, right? And so I thought that was a really important lesson, I think, even for me, to be thoughtful and to speak up sometimes. Now, let me just ask you one last question before we head off here. Can you share with us maybe one candidate that you thought really impressed you in your history of interviewing people?
Oh, in interviewing people or in the career or?
It could be in career or it could be you know, in interviews.
Okay. 不如我講一講成個 career 先啦 right? Before interview， 其實喺我 like one person who really impressed me 係有一個同事啦，其實佢係又係 again as I said before, right? Being very proactive, right? 佢開頭入嚟間公司，其實 he actually joined as an intern。right 佢乜嘢都唔識咁當然佢好 proactive 一路去學好多唔同嘅嘢，咁都幾 impress 我就係佢本來咧佢係let's say scheduled to end on this date, let's say end of July, right? 咁但係咧佢跟住 to go on a family trip before 佢再 go back to school, right? As an intern。咁其實佢嗰時咧係因為我哋有一個 presentation to a CEO。In let's say beginning of August, right? 佢因為佢好想去學，亦都佢係好想知道因為一個 intern they may not have the experience 去點樣去同一個 CEO 去溝通或者 even 未有機會去見到去 interact with 個 CEO. He actually extended his internship. He canceled his family trip. Not saying that of course work-life balance is important as well too, right? But I'm just saying like 佢就係因為好 proactive 去想去知道佢點 learn like and doing something out of 去即係 extraordinary 嘅嘢啦 right? 去 go the extra mile to learn it, right? 咁唔單止啦，咁我諗佢係有一個好好嘅 experience based on that CEO interaction and go project。跟住佢其實 after 佢 internship 都係 join 咗 Deloitte digital 個 team 啦，咁跟住一路去 continue to progress 佢嘅 career。佢開頭唔識嘅，佢有時可能spend his own time like even sometimes again 可能at night or whatever to pick up things very quickly, right? 因為 as I said we got to be a step ahead of our clients。咁所以佢做好多呢啲嘅 proactive 嘅嘢，慢慢去 grow。咁而呢個係我幾 impress 啦，但係其實佢背後咧其實點解佢咁努力？ right， 亦都係點解去做咁多嘢？其實佢亦都係因為有一個好 clear 嘅 dream or goal， right be it 係會將來係 successful or not， right？ 但係 at least 佢有一個 vision 就係 he wanted to be a partner in Deloitte， right？ His aim is to be a partner, and that's why he has done many things to try to position himself or learn to get to that position， right？ 咁所以我諗一嚟咧都係其實個個人都可以有個 dream， right？ Be it happens or not is another thing， right？ 但係每個人都應該要有個 goal， 有個 dream， right？ And then work towards that。就係亦都我 that's why I think 呢個 candidate 係咁成功係 during 佢個 career 啦咁亦都可以 share 多少少佢嘅成果啦。其實 even at 一個佢係我最記得佢應該係29歲啦 已經成為咗一個 senior manager in Deloitte Consulting, which is he's one of the youngest guys that we have at that level. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's great. And you earlier shared one of the interview questions that you like to ask around 3 to 5 years from now, what do you see down the path? How about Rose? What is one interview question that you like to use and why? And then Dennis, I'll ask you the same thing after as well.
Okay.
有一條問題我一定會問嘅咧，就係問個 candidate 佢覺得自己嘅弱點喺邊度？因為好多時呢啲同學仔咧都會 prepare 晒所有咧，我強乜嘢啊，我叻乜嘢啊，我好啲乜嘢啊咁。咁點解我會問呢一條問題咧？因為其實我想佢哋去知道或者去 realize 自己嘅弱點喺邊，而點樣可以配合到份工做得更加好，或者係咪有一啲嘢，譬如話原來我自己為例咧，都係講翻我好弱 in numbers 嘅。咁其實我會唔會可以有一啲 course， 或者我係好怕做一啲即係一啲 financial plan 啊，或者一啲 budgeting 嘅嘢嘅。咁我係咪可以 practice 多啲咧，或者我睇多啲咧，等自己唔好驚咧咁。從而其實我唔係要去 pinpoint 你唔得呢一樣嘢，咁就唔好啦，做唔到呢份工，而係我係想話俾佢哋聽，或者去引導佢哋，或者去 coach 佢哋，其實點樣可以將個弱點轉化到其實係 just part of your life， 你係可以擁有呢一樣嘢。呢一個雖然係一個弱點，但係其實你識得我哋講嘅避重就輕啊！即係如果我冇理由我弱in numbers， 我仲走去揾一份 number focus 嘅工噶嘛，咁我諗呢一樣嘢係好緊要咯。咁所以我好多時都會係用呢條問題去引導佢哋點樣去諗，將自己嘅性格擺翻落去份工裏邊咯。Thank you.
And Dennis, final question to you.
冇到有 ，thank you。冇到有，我同阿 Royce 同阿 Rose 個 question 個問題都好相似。通常我最後尾問題一係就問佢 Tell me about your strength and weakness in terms of your personality。好多時佢哋都係講咗我工作上有啲咩 strength and weakness， 就冇講自己 as a person 佢嘅 weakness。咁呢個都係我通常會最後尾問，我都想了解下我個人究竟佢嘅 personality 有冇啲咩弱點。如果佢有人講到出嚟咧，通常我都會問翻佢多一個問題，就係你點樣克服你個弱點？咁佢從而了解佢係咪一個即係可以接受 challenge 嘅人啦。咁呢個通常都係，如果佢過到嘅話，基本上都我諗8-9成都 pass。如果仲係爭少少咧，我都會再問多最後一個問題，就係我見咗好多個 candidate 啦，點解我要請你唔請佢咧？咁俾多個機會佢 last chance 去 sell 埋我。咁呢兩個通常都係我最後尾呢兩個問題。Thank you。
好同意。
同埋頭先你提 ，thank you。頭先阿 Michael 你問過咧，你一個好 impress 嘅 interview 咧，我曾經請過一個 candidate， 佢係賣相機。Believe it or not， 當然佢嘅 communication skill 係 very strong。Believe it or not，now 而家佢係一個 Cisco 嘅 top sales。He have been this IT tech industry for more than 10 years， 已經超過10年。佢啱啱入嚟呢一行嘅時候，佢唔係讀 IT。咁 this is the guys are very impressed, mainly because 我請佢係個 communication skill. Thank you. 我就 echo a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's just so important because, sometimes people have these great skills, but they're not aware that they're transferable, right? And so you could be selling anything as long as you know you can learn about the new product, whatever that is, right? It could be Cisco, it could be toothbrushes if you want. But I think, having some of that confidence and awareness that some of these skills are transferable are really great. Well, I want to take a moment to just say thank you to the three of you here for sharing your trends, your insights, and I really did enjoy sort of, especially the last 10-15 minutes or so, where we talked a lot about, advice for it could be the next generation of workers, or it could be even those currently thinking about reskilling as well. And so just a big thank you to you for sharing your words of wisdom with all of the experience that you have as well. The future is yours to create. Let's help build a smarter digital city as we learn and grow our digital knowledge together. 好多謝各位嘉賓嘅分享同埋見解。如果你想參加 Google Career Certificate，你可以 click 入個 URL and register。 希望好快就可以同大家再見面啦，拜拜。